victims of domestic violence. Angela claimed Maya was hurt while in the shelter. So we have a little tiny baby who's been severely hurt, been in very disruptive, unpredictable situations. So when someone tries to soothe her, she's on high alert, right? And everything hurts. So probably things didn't heal well, and so touch would be painful for her. Makes sense now, doesn't it? Rather than thinking we have an uncontrollable baby that maybe we need to go get treatment for. Okay, the context. So she wakes up in the middle of the night. She's easily started. Those are the things that they told her. She squirms away from being held. She doesn't make eye contact, and she screams when taken on medical visits. It all makes sense now, right? Okay, so let's look at Javier. Here's Javier's story. He grew up seeing his parents battle. He would try to divert his parents by making jokes. It's a survival strategy, isn't it a unique strength? It is, it is. It's very effective. The mother refuses to leave the father. He was taken into care after he tried to intervene. He tries to divert the attention away from his parents. So here he's getting in trouble at school because he's the jokester. You can see the next slide. Here's the things that he wasn't interested in school and he jokes around in class. He frequently skips school to smoke and drink because he's social and he wants to be connected with those people. He has sudden outbursts of violence, and remember he saw a boy beating up a girl, so he went and got the boy because he can't do that with his dad, but he can do it with this boy to protect this other girl. So again, now we have a context for the behaviors, right? Rather than just isolating the behaviors. Okay, let's look at this. So would you say that that was hyperarousal, withdrawal? What would you say, how would you say that Javier was dealing with this traumatic experience? What ones of those fit? He's re-experiencing, absolutely. Any others fit? Reactions to trauma reminders, absolutely. Isn't he a little bit hyper-aroused too? He's seeing trouble everywhere. And he's ready. He's in that fight mode. It's like, bring it on. Okay, next one. So the role of resilience. What do you think of when I say the word resilience? How about those bop bags? Do you remember those? I used to have them all the time. You know those bop bags, and you punch it and what would happen? Bounce back. But what would happen is oftentimes some of the air would start to seep out, right? And so when you push it down, what happens? It comes back lower and then lower. And then pretty soon it's like laying down on the ground. My body's broken. Resilience is that ability to spring back. Now sometimes it may only spring back to, a 45-degree angle. Other times it's going to come right back up here. And it depends on the level of abuse history, all that complex trauma as well. It also depends on their temperament. Was there a person in their life that helped get them back up to that place? All right? Children who are resilient are able to see themselves. First of all, they have to be safe. Then I'm competent. This is where a child having a particular skill, oh, you draw so well. Oh, you're a really good jumper. Finding something that a child does. Even a teenager, a young adolescent, finding something that they can do. You're a great baker. You do such a good job. Oh, you're good with clay. You're really smart. You're very kind, very thoughtful. Helping them find something that they can hang on, that they're capable, okay? Just as despair can come to one only from other human beings, hope too can be given. And that's the fact of trauma happens in the context of relationships and trauma heals in the context of relationships. So here's some of the ways that we can help grow resilience. And this is where you guys all come in, which is really cool. We can grow resilience. Let's see, I want to find where we were. Oh, here we are. A strong relationship. I already talked about that. One adult. Feeling connected to a positive person and having talents. Those are reiterated. We've talked about those. Okay? Feeling some control. Giving our kids control. It may not be over anything very big. It could be over what you want to put in your backpack. Which snacks do you want? We know food's a big issue with our kids, a big issue. If they're in survival mode, I don't know about you guys, but I knew I was gonna have a really long day today. So if you were to look in my purse, you would find bars. In my bag in my car with a little ice pack, I have an assortment of things to eat. I never leave home without food, all right? I have control over that. Think about a kid. They didn't get what they needed. So I told you a little bit about my husband having a significant trauma history. I should have known something was up when we were getting ready to get married, and he said, I'm so excited to have our own refrigerator. Well, that's exactly what I was thinking about getting married. We're gonna have a joint refrigerator. How exciting is that? Gotta tell you. He said, I will be able to get food whenever I want it. I'm like, oh, dude, I had no idea. It's 35 years ago as a kid. But that was one of the most important things to him. And to this day, still, it's important that we have a lot of food in our house. At any given time, I'll have like 10 kinds of cereal. 10? There's 2 of us. Frosted Flakes is one of them. It's really on the healthy ones. We were born with 2 cravings of taste. What are they? Sweet and salty. So we've had a rough day. We don't go home and say, I can't wait to steam some broccoli. Yeah, hey, did we? We go for the chocolate. Who is the sweet? Who goes for sweet? Who goes for salty? I eat the salty so that I can have the sweet, and then I go back to the salty, and then I eat the sweet. I do. Popcorn. If I were on a stranded island, I would want popcorn. I eat it almost every day. Popcorn. Salty. So we want to give our kids the opportunities. Multigrain Cheerios, they're sweet, but they have crunchy, they have substance to them. It's a great thing. Bowls of them out. We want to make food accessible to our kids. It helps soothe. We use food to soothe. It's in survival. I don't know how I got talking on this. Oh, having control. So giving kids a backpack or a basket in the pantry, anywhere that they have food and they have access to food at all times. Setting a placemat on the table. This is your placemat. Anytime you want, you can sit here and you can have anything you want. Okay? Because that allows them some control. All right, yeah?
So how do you draw a line between giving them control over food and then letting them overeat? So
It's amazing. Have you ever watched a child? What does a child do when they're full?
Well, I had one that puked. So
Okay, so he filled up and he puked. Okay, worst case scenario, he pukes. All right, okay. He knows that he can get what he needs. He'll learn to self-regulate. Most little kids, when you start feeding them and you're feeding them even baby food, they'll push it away when they're done. Watch it. We self-regulate. When we are given the opportunity to have those choices, we tend to gravitate towards self-regulation.
Even with the overweight children there, aren't there?
Yes, even with all the overweight children, that's a good question. Here's the deal. Right now, we need the emotional trauma to be healed. And food is a vehicle to get that self-soothing done. As the emotional trauma heals, they'll move to a place to self-regulate. It's the least of our worries right now. People get real upset about kids smoking. Oh, they're smoking. We're teenagers, we gotta have them quit smoking. Really? That's a way. Is it healthy? Absolutely not. I'm an anti-smoker all the way. However, that's a way that the kids are regulating themselves right now. So we gotta help them heal. They'll get to that place of regulation. We can model and influence them. We can model good, healthy eating habits. Okay?
Exercise.
Grapes. Grapes are a great, sweet, crunchy thing. That's one of the things in my lunch thing. Grapes, they're great. So we don't always have to give them unhealthy foods. I'm not saying that. But there is a place for it. Strawberries, blueberries, those are sweet, natural sweetness. I'm not a fan of soda, so keep that out of the mix. But there's a lot of other things. Okay? So we need to allow them the opportunities to have some control over that and have it accessible. You know, I have grandkids. I have a big basket in my pantry on their level, and it's filled with those squeezable apple sauces, fruit rolls, all kinds of snacks. They know anytime they want to, they go in and get those. Okay? So we hope that they'll get to a place of self-regulation. It may take a while. Okay. Having a sense of belonging to community larger than yourself. And that's something that sequentially we may need to postpone because of the trauma effect. They don't need the chaos. What's one of the worst places we can take our kids?
Walmart.
Walmart? Sorry, no offense, Walmart. If there's any hidden likes in here or whatever. But why is Walmart a difficult place for our kids to go?
There's so many different kinds of people.
It's so overstimulation. I go in Walmart and go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I go into a bunch of morning.
Yes, go at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, if I could stay awake that late, maybe I would. So we really want to not go places where our kids are going to be overstimulated. We want to be very, very aware of that. Okay. Recognizing resilience. Okay, so let's go back to Maya. She's able to express her needs through crying. She doesn't give up. That's a strength. She's saying, I need something, and I'm going to cry until I get it. She's taking comfort from her bottle. This little girl needs to be on the bottle probably for quite a while. I don't care if she's almost 3. We need to be able to let her get her comfort. Responds positively to music. Music is a calming thing. I'm a big fan of having music on. You know, I commute to Denver a lot, at least 3 days a week. And I've gone to not getting all engaged in that road rage, people cutting you off and, you know, well, I can show you. I'll get in the right lane and I'm going to go faster and then I'm going to cut you. Really? So putting on classical music, which really helps calm, it does a lot. Beginning to trust and enjoy being with her aunt. So look at the resilience of this little girl in some pretty significant circumstances. Now Javier, he's obviously very loyal to his mom, isn't he? He wanted to intervene for her. He uses jokes. That's a strength because he's able to try to figure out humor. You need a high operating brain to be able to use your humor. He has friendships with his peers. He has a sense of justice. That's an amazing strength. So we really want to tap into that. Wow, you really understand what right and wrong are. Do you see where we could go with that? So when you understand what right and wrong are, let's think about how you can use that understanding. Not let's think about how you shouldn't be doing what you just did, but let's think about how that impacts you. Has empathy, particularly for women. Okay. So, I think we're pretty close here. Yes. All right, let's go to the next quote here. And then we're like shuttles on a loom, resource parents or foster parents, like shuttles on a loom, they join the threads of the past with threads of the future and they leave their own bright patterns as they go. Isn't that a great quote? It's like weaving the tapestry. We're going to help, our job is to help connect the threads so that when someone looks, they can see the tapestry from the other side. Okay, we're going to take another couple-minute break and then come back and we just have module 3. Okay? And then we're done for the morning. We're doing good. We're on schedule. Get up and move around a little bit.